Welcome. Freezing. Let's get warmed up here. All right. This is the buckskin we scraped yesterday. This needs to be scraped again. That's one thing. Well, let me make sure I got something set up right on here. Hold up. There we go. That wind is whipping out there. Whipping. And then we got this apron we're working on also. And it did this thing. It did this thing where it cinched in. And I think Baby Kisses was talking about this the other day. Shout out Baby Kisses. This leather strap, the leather top wants to pull, or like this is cinching in. Something's happening where the fabric's cinching in here. So I gotta take all these stitches out here. These gotta be pulled, and I gotta kind of press this down. And then once I can stretch that out, I don't want to cut any of this out. But this will be where the pocket goes. But I don't want this crimping here. You see the crimping that's happening? So I need to take all of these stitches out here on the back. And that'll be something I do. And I know I've done this for a couple days, but this is a handmade process, so handmade stuff. So this is be where the pocket is. You kind of see where the pocket would go in there, about in that spot. All leather made here at Dad's Workshop. Thanks for being here. I'm Calvin, and you are, right? Introduce yourself. Let's talk. It is freezing out here. I could estimate, but I could find a thermometer and probably tell you for sure. It's in the 20s, at least in the 20s, maybe in the teens here in Dad's Workshop. So, welcome. I'm gonna go as long as I can here. I need to put some gloves on because this tanning stuff really messes your hands up a lot. Hopefully everybody can hear me. Again, my name's Calvin, and Heather taught me. Heather's behind the camera. Heather taught me how to do this. I never knew you could do this. There we go. Oh, that one's fine. All right, we're good to go on that. Rub your knuckles together like that. Give myself a little bit more space here. Maybe. I've got all this scrap leather here, like that came off of projects. It's frozen right now. But I want to give this away to members. So, you know, if you are a member, I said yesterday, I want you to definitely, you have my email address, dadsworkshopcalvin@yahoo.com. Send me an email. Put your address in there so I can send you a giveaway. We only have like 3 or 4 people on that list, and we have 15 members. So we also have gift members too. You're included as well. Hey, Mike. The lag. So yeah, I got Mike is on that list for sure. We're going to be sending Mike a package here in the next couple days. So get on that list so I can send you stuff. I want to make you all a few little trinkets and things like that. Get on that list. Get on that list. And join. Join the channel. Lots of cool stuff around here. I don't sell anything, so I got to give stuff away. Am I right? Gagey, what's up? What's up? Woo! It's cold. Hey, double tap that screen, like this video. My name is Calvin. This is Dad's Workshop, and right now we're working on tanning, and I'm gonna show you a couple other little things. I got some. It is so freezing out here. I can imagine having like a raccoon fur hat on right now. I'm gonna make myself one in the next days. I've got a pattern for it, man. Right now one of those would feel so good on my head. Gotta make one. Don't want to mess it up down here. And so these raccoons will be used to keep me warm. And it is so cold right now. That's like, I'm like almost, let's get on that raccoon stuff, right? I look like a Cossack right there for a minute. You like that? All right. So this side actually is second in priority. I need to scrape the grain off of the wow, the static on my fingers. Scrape the grain off of this one here. Last view of the grain of this leather here is going to be this. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. The last time you will ever see it on this piece, because why? Because you see all of those defects in it where the grain is scraped or scratched off because it got brittle. Though this one has a lot more perfect spots on it, or just scratches. And so you see stuff on the edge. It's just not. I'll be able to work it a lot better if there's no grain on there, especially as a somewhat of a beginner here. So we're gonna, I don't know if y'all saw any of that, but we're gonna scrape all the grain. So say goodbye, goodbye grain. It's too many spots. Look, there's only, and then I would have to like cut. The only thing I could use would be sections like this. And even there, I got parts I can't use. So it's just better to scrape it. Next time I get a hide, I'll try to do the grain on. Also, I have these deer hides here that are preserved. I could rehydrate one of these and try to save the grain on that. You know. Dacian, what's up, man? Dacian is in attendance, ladies and gentlemen. Newest member of Dad's Workshop. Dacian from Turkey. Heather, make Dacian a mod, man. Dacian should be a mod. Raccoon tailing back. Also, Gagey can be a mod too. He's been around for a minute. Anyway, let's scrape without further ado, and we'll talk some more. My name is Calvin. Dacian introduced himself yesterday. What's your name? Anybody from Germany out there? I know there's people from Germany, right? I got some people in Germany watching. Let me know who you are. Let's talk. I guess in English because my German's not so good. Oh, this hurts my heart to scrape this grain off, but it's just not, it's not worth it. And the leather will be so stiff too. I'm gonna have to scrape it, guys. It's gotta go, gotta go. We'll do the best we can here. Find a good spot to start. And just pull the Band-Aid off. You know? What's up, chat? Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, Gagey. Thank you, Heather. And you get a wrench, and you get a wrench. See how I roll? And you get a wrench, and you get a wrench. Whoa, it's cold. Gagey said, I'm from Germany, but I ain't there right now. Speak a little German, but it's been a while. Hey, that's crazy. That's crazy. There you go. Yeah, like my number, I think, I don't know, it may even be more than the UK. My #1 European audience is Germany. So, Germans like stuff like this. Hey, Dacian, thank you for the super chat. Dacian coming in with the super chat. I'll try to hit it with my gloved fingers. I love it. Heather can probably love it for me inside there. Thank you, Dacian. We appreciate that, man. Hey, Mike. Welcome. Mike Osborne from the frozen north. We're in the frozen south right now. I put some screws in this, fleshing beam here, and it's still moving around a lot. I want to add a brace onto it. I'll be honest, I made a video. I didn't put a lot of time into the construction of it, you know. It was minimal time invested. Unfortunately, what would have been really beautiful leather, because I used a really good oak tannin on it. I used something in the liming process that And I don't want to hit the tripod there. Sorry if I did. I did something in the liming process with this that I think that made the skin brittle, and not in every area, because you see right here it's super stubborn, you know. And it may be that I end up using only the suede side of these, which is the flesh side. The other side, it's frozen right now, like it's freezing. This has been inside all night, and when I brought it out here, as soon as I put it on the beam, it started freezing. Woo! Snowing here too, I think. I can open up the garage and check, probably. Shout out to Daisy and Gagey, both new mods, and Dacian's a new member. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Do become a member. Dacian became a member yesterday. Love to grow the family, but even if you can't do that, do me a favor and just like the video by double tapping the screen and subscribe. We're going to be doing lots of stuff in Dad's workshop. Working on a long form video right now. Yeah, we're not even going to get up above the 20s. It's not usually like that. Like, we're in North Carolina. Mike's in North Dakota. So it's opposites day. It's opposites day. Seems to be like some scar tissue right here, I think. Yes, sir. Take care. Thanks for stopping by. Gagey. How is everyone? That's a good question. How is everyone? How are you? Where are you? Are you safe? Because it's freezing here, I'll tell you. We got generators. We're lucky. We're among the lucky. So we're not too worried. If the power goes out, we can make it for a little while. You know. We know a few things around here. We got a few things figured out. Got a few things figured out. How's everybody doing? Hey, shout out to everybody. My name is Calvin. This is Dad's workshop. Saturday. It's freezing. I wish I had my thermometer here. It's probably in the shop. It's in the teens or 20s. Thank you for coming. Appreciate you. Do me a favor. Tap that screen. Double tap that screen. Like this video. And let's keep going. I'm scraping this hide right now. We're making buckskin. That's what we're doing. Scraping the grain. This is sometimes called frizzing. Sometimes called graining. It's like the epidermis. It's the membrane below the hair on any mammal, you know. This is not scraping as easy as that hide yesterday if you were here. This one is scraping much harder. Thanks for being here though. My name is Calvin and your name is? Can I get your name? Can you let me know who you are? Or just like, we don't need to know that much. Just, you know, what do you want to be called? I like to be called Calvin, but that's actually my Christian name. KW Steele says, and love to the awesome community, Heather, and you're an awesome person. Thanks, man. Or, actually, I don't know. I can't assume anyone's a man here. But, Steel, Wood, and Green, thank you. I'm trying to make sure I don't misgender people. I did that yesterday, actually, with somebody, because I don't see your face, you know what I mean? So I don't know. But, yeah. I'm trying to read the chat. Heather was working on having a chat that reads itself to me. Thing is, I would have to have this phone like muted or something. or I would unmute it, and then you guys would get feedback from the unmutedness. I think. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. All right, KW Steel. All right, yeah, got you, man. Sorry about that. Yeah. KW Steel. That's a man-sounding, you know, channel. But you know, I've seen a lot of you guys. I've seen a lot of people pass through. But thanks for coming. Hey. Nice. Nice.
And the first thing KIV Steel said was, "Hey man, keep up the awesome content."
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, I did see that. Thank you. Thanks for the positivity, KIV Steel. That's much appreciated. And when it comes to Daisy in there, that's awesome that you. I don't know if you have a forge there. That's something I want to get too. I don't know too much about running a forge. I know that I would get a little bit hot down here in the summer running a forge. But I want to have one. I could see myself doing it in the wintertime. I don't know if I want to use all that propane all the time, like just forging stuff. Probably have projects, you know. There's also ways to run those with charcoal and coal. I understand. You can make crucible steel. I'm actually Canon USMC. I'm actually I fleshed this hide already. This hide's actually been tanned most of the way. What I'm doing is called frizzing. I'm removing the grain from the hide. You see that grain leather right there? It's got all kinds of Mars and stuff on it. To answer your question, Ken, you see all those different defects on there? So I'm not going to try to make perfect grain leather out of this. I'm going to take it, I'm going to scrape that grain off, and it's going to become what's called buckskin. Cannon, you may know that. I don't want to insult your intelligence, but thanks for being here, and thanks for the question. Love that. Love that people include Miss Heather. Appreciate that, because she is half the channel there. And she's also here to answer questions. But that's Cannon. I hope I answer your question, and appreciate you being here and asking. Love the interaction. I want to say I appreciate everybody for being here, because you could be anywhere in the world, and you chose to be here. And what I am doing right now is actually frizzing. What's called frizzing, sometimes called graining. I'm removing this membrane that's unfortunately been tanned all the way. It's a waste of tan, so it's a mistake in that I was going for grain leather and it didn't work out. So what I'm getting now is going to be beautiful and durable, but it's not going to be grain leather. It's going to be buckskin, like a suede texture. Softer, more malleable material. There are people who really just prefer that all around because it's versatile. You can wet form it and things like that you do with leather. That grain, keeping the grain and then making the leather soft with that grain on there is so hard to do. I mean, that's from my little bit of experience, the hardest thing. You got me to dedicate myself to start YouTube. Yeah, Ivan, welcome. Nice to meet you. Thanks for, if you wanted to make some suede, would you have grained it before tanning? Well, suede is, I think, suede is denotes calf or cow skin. So it's not technically suede. If I wanted to make it buckskin from the start and work it as buckskin, I wouldn't have put it through so much tanning. That's part of it. I think I have a pair of moccasins. I think that were done that way. Yeah, so moccasins are buckskin, and if they were done the old-fashioned Native American way, then they were done with buckskin made with brain tanning. They don't use any bark tanning at all, so it would have just been a brain material with egg yolks and an oil, neat's foot oil usually. But they have various oils they use, and then that would have been smoked, smoked lightly with cold smoke, and then that's what you got. So your moccasins are basically made out of probably brain tan. If they're traditional, they're brain tan buckskin. Which this has been brain too, and that I did because it's a very effective way to get that moisture into the hide. Yeah. Hey, I'm glad to have you, man. I'm glad you're here as well. KIV Steel, I'm glad to have you here. Mike says he's got to make him another pair of moccasins. So I'm going to make a pair. I'm going to try to make a pair on the channel soon. That's a goal. First, I'm going to make a pair of sandals. And then I'll step up to the moccasins. I have a pattern that Mims sent me from a book called Traditional American Skills that teaches you a lot of these old skills kind of in the easy way. They don't go through too much minutia. They just say, here's the pattern, you know, adapt this pattern to your project. But yeah, I love I had a pair of moccasins. And being from Minnesota when I was a kid, the Minnetonka moccasins were good. I didn't never have any handmade ones. My grandparents had mucklucks that they lived in Kotzebue, my grandfather and my grandmother. And so they had real mucklucks, which are a special thing to have, to be honest. I wish I had a pair of those right now, keeping my feet warm. So they had them. I never got anything that handmade. I did, you know, I was from a rural environment though, so things were handmade back, even in the 80s, they were still hand making a lot more stuff. Just simply that. Now everything is fashion and quick off the shelf. And fashion is the enemy of quality, y'all. I'll tell you that. I'll freely say that. Yeah. So it's brain tanned. The hide is removed. It's either salted and then stretched on a frame, usually with rope pulled tight, scraped, salted, and then rehydrated with a brain solution made with the deer's brains and sometimes some egg yolks and oil, light oil. Traditionally, neat's foot oil and something like that, which neat's foot oil comes from cows, but I've extracted it from deer bones too. From the leg bones. It is possible to get it if you really kind of tease it out with warm water. Yeah. Yep. It's you pay for quality, you know, and sometimes we get what we pay for. You know what I mean? And sometimes we don't. Nowadays we pay a lot more than I don't know. I've been a person who always appreciated handmade stuff and I always have basically my whole life. So, you know, I always like well-made stuff. I was big on well-crafted things. What is the best way to do stuff? You know, not the quickest way. What is the best way? Right? Some of this would have been done by somebody making traditional, like a combination tan buckskin. They would do this stuff throughout the process. I tanned this hide almost 100%, and now I'm scraping the grain because I made an executive decision that the grain was unsavable, or it would be too much waste if I tried to save it. I wasted a lot of tannins, you know, in the process because this whole grain is tanned all the way. I could have avoided that if I would have been scraping it along a lot longer, and I wouldn't have to tan it as long. I was telling Heather that today. Hey, welcome to Dad's Workshop. My name is Calvin. Hey, we got Mike Osborne and KIV Steel, and we have Dacian as a new member in the chat. Introduce yourself, say hello, and let's chat. Anybody from the UK out there? Let's give a UK shout out. Definitely takes more than one scraping, y'all. Takes more than one scraping. Just a little bit. I'm gonna drop the camera slightly. Cold. It's cold. I can handle it. I feel nice and warm because I'm, you know, it's like Abraham Lincoln said, you know. Plywood. Welcome, Plywood. Valued member, Plywood. Thanks for being here. Saw Plywood in Mike's live stream last night. That sideways scrape right there, y'all, like that, that's what really gets the stuff off. Kind of to the side of the stump. That's what does it. If you get any value from this video. You can also wait till this little nasty stuff, it's not nasty because it doesn't, it's just skin. But when it dries, it'll pull off. You know, I've got another one over here. It's got a bunch of dried skin membrane or whatever. I have a genuine love for leatherworking. Unfortunately, not in a place where I can get my own to learn tanning. And pre-tan leather is absolutely insanely expensive, and also KIV, kind of bad quality. You know, it's thick, like. But it's not special. It doesn't have that handmade. It's not bad. I'm glad they still make veg tan leather, man. We could be in a world where it's, you know, all chrome tan leather and we can't even really work it. Can't get wet. You know, it's not durable at all. It just looks like it's made from an animal and it looks like leather. You know. So, yeah, it's expensive. It's low quality. But even if it's just the quality and you can handle the expense, it's, you know, sometimes it's tough because you got to get it and then you got to work it correctly. You mess up, it's an expensive mistake. I don't want to, even my own stuff, I got to start putting a value on it because I've looked at custom, you know, like home tan leather online. It's super expensive. Like if it's done, not dyed, right? A lot of people have hides that look like this online, but they're dyed. They're like either chrome tan or tanned in another way and they dye them. This is actually real tan leather, so it's tanned with bark from oak trees. And that just is a laborious process. It's not for everyone. It's also not done by a lot of people anymore. So finding leather that's made like from scratch like that, it's not common. Most people are, especially deer hunters, if they're keeping their hide, it's like for trophy purposes. So they're keeping the hide and then keeping the fur on it. They always want to keep the fur. And I learned through this little bit of time I've been doing this that actually deer fur doesn't stay well anyways. It sheds real easily, even when it's secured in the hide, like you've used. Even if you use the taxidermy chemicals that they use to preserve hair, and they got their own secrets too. It's a trade, but even if you use those, the hair slips a lot. The hair sheds, so it can't be high traffic. It has to be in a place where it's going to not be hit a lot. Hence, deer fur not really working like that. I've got this hoodie that's basically a Sherpa blanket. Oh yeah, she does. Yeah, she's got like a serape. It looks like it's a serape shaped hoodie. When she breaks that out, you know it's cold around here. Alright, I found that putting this, if I want to scrape that off, it's better to put it on the lower side and reach down. For me, recently I found that. This is a draw knife, y'all, not a fleshing knife. So. Thanks. I think that very well said was for me. Appreciate that. Yeah, I like to think that. It's just there is a departure from quality that happened with a lot of clothing. I started to notice this in the late '90s when and this is not anything against foreign made clothing. It's just that you know, when people make enough to feed their families and stuff, it's not bad being a seamster or seamstress or working in a garment factory, you know. So the businesses couldn't survive, I guess, in the economy with plastic clothing and stuff coming out, and so we lost our garment industry is what happened, and stuff stopped being made in what I would refer to as a way that fit Americans well, if that makes sense. Americans are obviously, I think even comparatively with most places, bigger bodied people, right? So, not saying we're the tallest people in the world. There's other countries that have the average height is bigger, and I'm not saying we're the strongest people in the world, just in general, you know, bigger bodied people. So we need clothing that's made for that and made for work and getting stressed, and we get these kind of things now when they're outsourced to sweatshops and stuff. They're like rags, man. You wash a shirt from like Kohl's or something. It's one-time use. That's what you got from it. You got one use out of that shirt that you got from Kohl's, and then it turned into a rag that can't even, you have to iron it every 5 seconds to make it look like a shirt again. The seam and everything folded in. They used to make dress shirts this long, like down to the knees. I just want y'all to consider that for a second. Just consider that. The quality of things, of products, is gone down, and it's not all their fault. We accept it. If we did our research and realized that we were getting kind of screwed for our money for clothing, we might go back to having tailors make our clothing again, you know? If one suit of clothing or two, which is what an average person would have had 100 years ago, one piece, one nice suit. I can give you a good example. My great-grandfather was very popular in his school. He graduated high school very young, like way younger than the other kids in his class. And he was known as, he was voted best dressed in his school. He had 2 suits. That was his closet. And they were just well-fitting. And he knew how to wear them. 2 suits was all he had. Because back in those days, everybody's clothing was made to suit, bespoke. It's not like that anymore. And that's why you watch old videos and you see the people are so well dressed. Everything fits them. Well, because there were hands working behind all those outfits. Yeah. Yeah, I believe that. Calvin, you got a few years on me, but quality has gone down insanely since I was young. Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. .6'1", 300. There's other guys 6'1", 300 too, man, you know? 6'1's a big guy. That's bigger than the average male height of most every country in the world. You know? People don't realize that. If your garment is made in Indonesia, where the average male is, they just can't even imagine a male that needs a shirt with a tail that long. They can't. Or it's just not part of their daily routine. And what is it also? It's more fabric, isn't it? So it's more material, whatever it is, fabric, material, leather, whatever you're working with. Somebody got warmness. Oh, okay. South Africa, and yeah, it's the summer down there, but it gets cold. I know y'all get cold. It's the summer down there right now. Yeah, midsummer for y'all. Yep. Nice. Yep, you're on the other hemisphere. Crazy. You guys have a similar climate. Just because of your placement against the equator, it's just, and the tilt of the earth, it gives you all a climate that's like, well, I don't know what you call it, temperate. It's cold. It's like, it gets colder. I don't know if y'all get snow like this, but you could tell me that, KIV, if you get snow. You guys have varying landscapes there too, from the ocean to, you know, prairie. And I think you even got mountains. You guys got mountains in South Africa too? You definitely have coast, a rocky coast, and prairie for sure. I think we know a little bit. We've seen a little bit about that place with the. I think they got these animals out there and stuff. You know. Am I speaking loud enough? Am I kind of mumbling? Sorry to mumble. Yeah, they did a season of that show Alone down there, I think. Or it was Naked and Afraid. I don't know, one of the survival shows. And the people were just frying, man. They were frying. This village in South Africa had burned out. And the temperatures regularly were getting like in the 110 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know if you guys go by Celsius down there. Way up in the, like, what is that, 50s Celsius? 40s or 50s Celsius. I can't. Something like that. Just hot. And they were just dying out there, man. That ripped a whole piece off, but that's all right. I can't be shy with it. These pieces on the edge that are they're gonna rip off, that thin leather is probably not gonna be extremely useful to me on a garment anyway. I would like to take these raccoon hides here and make them a hat, but what I want to line it with is I want to line it with buckskin because I want it to have some insulation, maybe even fabric. I think these will make. These are nicely cured. I did this all with brain. This is brain tanned, so you can see brain tanned and smoked. A little stiff at the moment, but that's what I needed to do, right? So, and I didn't kill this animal either. It was roadkill. I don't have a very strong stomach, so trust me, if it's not, I don't pick up every piece of roadkill I find, but if it's nice, it goes in the truck bed, and its life will help me stay warm or someone else or whatever, you know. We're going to be doing stuff all the time. Oh, they got a new, they do have a new season that I can't see because I don't have History Channel Plus on Prime, so yeah, they do. I have heard they have a new season. It's unavailable to me at the moment. Yeah. Y'all had a good, I liked South African Survivor. I watched all the Survivor South Africa before they took it off Paramount Plus. I was 100% into that. I thought that potentially South Africa would have had a better show eventually than the U.S. I don't know if they're still making that down there. But they pulled it off of Paramount Plus. I was able to watch the... Yeah, I'm gonna make me, Mike. I'm gonna make me a coonskin cap with these that has like a, that's like a what do they call them, the Cossack style, tall top on it. It's gonna be nice and it's gonna go down to the ears. Oh yeah, you know, raccoons have a, well, let me show you. This patch is, I think, this is made out of raccoon hide here. You tell me, Mike. Mike might be able to tell you. This is like 1 to 2 ounce leather, I think. It's real thin. Not as thin as, This is the neck area here. Let's put the ruler up to it. This is good research. This is raccoon leather. And I'm trying to find a ruler here so we can get this the mathematics of it. It's like, at the neck it's 5 millimeters thick. It's nice and supple though. That's one of the things. It took me a while to get it there, but the raccoon leather is able to be, what did I call it? So that's a raccoon hide right there. It's thicker than some deer hide in parts. But then there's deer hides like this one, this big old thing back here. This buckskin's from a huge deer. And that's fairly thick, but even that, I'm feeling it right now. When I moisturize it, it'll probably be in the similar number of millimeters. Derek, welcome. While I am making myself one, can I make you one? Hey man, once I get to know you, I can make you some stuff. Hang out in the chat, you know? Hang out in the chat, hang out on the channel, and I'm not against that. Yeah, man, hang out with us, and you know, it's a community, so yeah, we don't mind. I don't sell anything, as you may have, if you looked at my channel, you've noticed I don't really make sales here. What I do is do the craft and then give away stuff. That's what we've been doing. Heather and I also make soap and things like that. So we give away little trinkets and things like that. Subscribe and you know, stay close. Don't be a stranger. We'll see. I don't make promises to anyone that I can't keep, right? I can't. I'm a person of my word and I have integrity. If I tell you I'm going to make you something, I'm going to make it for you. So I can't. I got to know you. We got to get to know each other, you know? And once we get to know each other, it's not out of the question. Let me turn this beam around. It's starting to be a pain in the ass. Hey, thanks for those 21 likes, folks. Can y'all, if you're in the chat, double tap that screen. You know, if you're watching, if you're in the, what I call the gallery, double tap that screen and like this video. It's a little cold out here today. I'm not going to be out for long. I won't bother you for long today, guys. Actually, it's a little early. No, I don't use perfumes. I've used some essential oils. Like I've used, in this hide and another couple hides, I use bergamot oil. Yeah, but no harsh perfumes or anything like that. Hey, that's what, I'm new to this too. So everything I teach is coming from a novice place, but what I've been doing is spending every day doing it for like a couple months now. I'm in Dad's Workshop, we do a lot of different stuff. This is for everybody to know. My name's Calvin. This is Dad's Workshop. Behind the camera is Heather. And we do lots of different stuff. Check out some of our videos. I built 2 bunk beds with no nails, screws, or pins. Those bunk beds were made out of 2x4s. And I did all the joinery myself. Check some of those videos out if you're into woodwork. Check some of my videos. I got a video that's out about my leather making process. Yes, we use scent oils in the soaps, but I have unscented as well. I have a couple bars of beeswax unscented soap for people that are sensitive. Yeah, so Heather knows that, but I do have a stock of beeswax bars that I made with no scent in them at all. So I do have, because I know that bothers some people. Yeah, try not to take shortcuts. Try not to take. What I gotta do is cut this stitch on here too before I go today. Out here, so I show people that I have to go backwards and correct some things. You know? This grain bulldozing that I'm doing right now, removing this grain, is referred to as frizzing in the old world. So like in England, when they would do this with animal skins, they would call it frizzing. It may be called graining now, but it's making in this case, you're turning deer skin, grain on deer leather into buckskin, right? And I don't have any machines. There's some taxidermists online that have the machines, so you can see them put them through those machines. It's pretty cool. I probably will never get to that level. I want the skill. I want to be able to do it in a pinch, make my own clothes, and if that turns into something bigger, I'll definitely follow that. But I'm not worried about becoming a professional taxidermist or learning anything to that level unless something it takes off, you know? What we do is learn a craft, learn a skill, then build off that. Literally, my first project with the bunk bed last year, which was a big deal for me. That was I took everything I learned in 15 years of woodworking and I synthesized it. I used no plans. I didn't use anybody's convention. All I used was what I learned from timber framing folks and my knowledge of woodworking and my tools that I had. I used some power tools, but mostly hand tools. And then we built some bunk beds. And it is amazing to take something like that from scratch, like wood, 2x4s, and turn it into beds that have no nails in them. You took all the wood is joined to wood. You know what I mean? So it's a feeling of satisfaction that came from that. But after that, I was like, all right, I can take a little break from woodworking for a little bit. I just did it for an entire year with no, you know, I didn't sell those bunk beds. They were given away. One of them's here. The other one was given away. Or someone paid my costs, so I gave it to them. The cost was, I think, in the $400 to $500 range for the materials. Hey, somebody tap that like button, please. Let's get those likes up to 30. Kind of pitiful number. I know people were in here for longer than that. I got these periodic haters. I know they were in here. Come on now, hold still. Yeah, this thing is... I think the cold air is affecting it too. Hear that creak? This may have to wait. I don't want that to happen, but... It also may be that my draw knife is getting a bit dull from scraping all this grain. So welcome to Dad's Workshop, folks. Thanks for sticking around. Tap that screen twice if you're on a phone. Like this video. Check out our other stuff too. We got other things if you're into traditional crafts. Definitely glad to have you here. Got to be a little rough with this here. Yeah, sometimes you get that tearing down there towards the belly. The belly's real tender. So I have a big cedar beam I want to turn it to. Thanks, Mike. Mike said you're a student of your crafts, man. I appreciate that. I will hold my head high. I continue to do that. I'm going to continue to do that. I'm going to continue to do stuff that satisfies me. and call out what I think is wrong too at the same time. If I think people are shit and they act like an asshole, I will speak up. And if I think people are dishonorable too, like, and do things that I think are, you know, dishonorable, I'll separate myself from them too. And you might notice that I've been doing that somewhat. And those people can separate themselves from me, you know, fine, let's go. I'd rather have the good people around. Thanks, man. So Cal and Heather are one of the best channels on YouTube. Dad's Workshop. Give it a woot woot. Dad's Workshop here. Thank you. Yep. We work as a team. Nobody's gonna pass no bullshit over on us. Not gonna try that stuff in here. If people try to be snide, it's gonna get caught. The lines will be read between. You know, that's just how it goes. You hear that wind whistle? You hear that? It's getting cold. Yeah, you're not pulling one over on folks. Don't mistake my kindness for weakness, actually. People will be like, oh, he's so mean these other times, he's competitive or what. Nah, man. I'm a very nice person. But nice is not really, that's the thing. Like, that's not what I strive to be. Because nice is not really what I value. What I value is, you know, someone's honor, their character, their integrity. Kindness is important. That's not the same as nice. God, nice is almost a bad word to me. Jovi's like walking around a bit. It's chilly out here. I could tell you, she's on the carpet area. She probably wants to come in somewhat. It's pretty cold. Y'all see that? Still got grain on here to scrape off. I think YouTube is like change things, do something different, but I gotta finish this job, man, before I move on to something else. But I'm glad to have you here, sticking it out with me. Scraping this grain off of this deer hide here. I think I'm almost at the, you know, it's gonna have to be scraped again and again after this, probably, you know. I'm not loving the way that the top part looks here. Let me move that a little bit. Yeah, man, I mean, people, it's just gonna be I think it's just a matter of, for me, rudeness was always a thing, and then, you know, people want to see you succeed or not succeed for their own reasons. Sometimes those people come off as people who are there to genuinely help you, and then sometimes those people come off as shitty, and it's hard to tell the difference. Sometimes, like, it's hard to tell the difference between the ones that are there to help you and the ones that are there to harm you, or actually they don't mean it maliciously. They want to climb on your back, and it's hard for them to see you do well because they only put people in two places, above or below, right? You know, this might connect with somebody in the audience. Sometimes there's some people in the world that can only put you above or below. So if you want to get connected with those people, sometimes you have to pretend to be above or pretend to be below, or actually feel as if you are, for them to get along with you. So until you, like, I noticed this with a guy that comments on another guy's channel. He's a mod on another guy's channel. He has to put himself above people all the time to feel like a good person, or what he's doing something important. Like, he's a mod, but he's not nice. He doesn't say hi to people. You know, he's in the comments making nice comments about the person who's running the channel, but he's kind of mean to everybody else, and even kind of mean to the person running the channel. We don't know this person from Adam, you know? We don't know who they are. Could be an AI bot. We have no idea. I assume it's a person. But you got to be careful who you connect with, because you get these paths in life, and you can pick one way or the other. And sometimes it seems obvious to take one route, but it's not that obvious. Like, you got to look deeper. Don't overthink it, but think it out. In my opinion, and I got to make myself clear about it, like in this community, like, and I'm not trying to sound arrogant, because right now my numbers are okay. They're nice. This looks good. I like having 50 people in the room. That's not the best, but it's good. It's fine. I'm not trying to be on my high horse. There's nothing, everything could change for me tomorrow, and people could stop watching the channel. You know, people could stop liking it, whatever. But if I was someone else, and it was a choice between me and some random person on the internet you don't know from Adam, who's telling you what to do and other people and makes themselves feel good by putting others down. If it was between Calvin, who runs a legit channel, and that, I'm choosing Calvin. You know, it seems moronic to go the other way. And if it's between Calvin, who I have talked to on the phone, you know, a number of times and know his heart, right? And some guy who I've never met in my life online, who people, a number of more people like, right? More people like them. I'm going to choose Calvin because there's something different. I do believe we do different things on this channel, and we speak in a different way that I think is in a way that can connect with people on a long-term level, and connect with people in a way that they understand. There's also those folks that the only thing that connects with them is, how can I make money off of this or that, right? And some people speak to that group. Some people speak to a group that has, whatever their feelings are about certain things, you know. I'm not even going to get into the politics of it. But people speak to people for a different reason. If I was hitching my wagon and I had the choice to hitch my wagon to one thing or hitch it to another. I'm getting hand signals. Is it snowing out there?
It's starting to come down.
The wind is whipping for sure. Rob, what's up, man? Hey, if you were in Rob's chat earlier, shout out to Rob here. Rob's here. Depression Talks from the UK, right? So that's my UK guy for the day. I was in your thing earlier, and this dude was just going freight train, 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 steam engine, steam engine. That's what was going on. And you had your chat being auto-read by an AI bot. Interesting. An interesting experience. Maybe. Freight train, freight train. I think that was it. Or steam engine. Dacian, don't know if it's just me, but sometimes the thought of being a craftsman in medieval times is just too. Hey man, I wish I could go back to the medieval times, and just as long as I could take a shower more frequently. They were like really not very well showered people. Should we put manure in the wound or wine? Wine or manure? And then they would say manure. Like, choose the wrong thing in every situation. We should leech him. He seems ill. His spirits must be low. What they call it back then? His, my brother would come in with this right now. It's whatever. When you were out of balance. He needs to be leeched and bled. Cut him 100 times. If he survives, he will be well. Last night I was having a good time on Mike's chat with the girl who's a falconer. Fly On Education. Shout out Fly On Education. Certified falconer. Didn't know such a thing existed. Now I do. This is why I learn on here. I was talking about coming out with a full Beastmaster leather suit on. Like leather bodysuit with only my fleshy thighs showing, and huge biceps, and just like I have a leather arm thing with my falcon on it, releasing my falcon to go espy my enemies. Release you. I release you, Falcon. Go espy my enemies and report back immediately. What should I name my Falcon? He's like a sexy medieval beastmaster name. Stormfeather. I release you, Stormfeather. Return with food. Flap, 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 flap. And then Stormfeather returns shortly with a snowshoe hare in her mouth. Stormfeather, that's my Falcon, y'all. You like pretend play? Yeah, you're good, buddy. Take care, KIV. Name your Falcon, my Falcon Ford, so it's Falcon Ford, not Ford Falcon. There you go, Tom. Hey, KIV says love everybody in the chat. Love you too, man. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for becoming a friend. We appreciate that. Watch me engage with my chat, haters. I think you should engage with your chat. Okay. So stupid. Right back at you. Hey, yeah, man, love, yeah. So everybody, this is Dad's Workshop. My name is Calvin. What's your name? Introduce yourself. Let's be fast friends. You know, I like that idea. I got a couple more little pieces of this buckskin grain to remove here. Introduce yourself in the chat. We won't be mean, I promise. You saw the way we act. Derek, what's up? Oh, we already said hi to Derek, but Derek, what's up, man? Good to see you again. Derek, where are you from, Derek? I don't need your street names. You know, give me a city. Where are you from? Yeah, man, I understand. I understand. It is. It's a lot. Pittsburgh. There we go. How are they? What's that, Pittsburgh? Over there. Over there in Pittsburgh. Over. It's kind of like Western Maryland, man. Over there. Yeah, man. I like that. I like that you yap with the people and let the people yap at you. That's good, man. Good way to be. Over in Pittsburgh. I need to work on my English regional accents. And then I can do the accents from the different places that the people are from in England, like where Lyons is from and stuff like that. See, I'm a morning person too. Yes. Heather got it there. Trying to get this bit here off. It's stubborn right there. Wow, really stubborn, man. Really stubborn. I gotta re-angle it on there. He said, sorry you're in Pittsburgh. Derek said, me too. It's always cold there in the winter. My God. Plywood's probably, I don't know how far from Pittsburgh plywood is. It's probably, the weather's probably pretty similar. Western Pennsylvania, Ohio, depending on where you are. I mean, Ohio kind of stretches a large area there. Maybe a bit more than a stone's throw, yeah, I would say. Scrapey, scrapey. As soon as I start talking smack, the numbers go up. Interesting. Wonder why. I didn't realize I missed a whole spot on here. I gotta get this. Ooh, that's why I was avoiding that spot. It's tough right here. I can kind of see because the hair wanted to stay on here too. This is going to be difficult. Let's try this like this. I'm going to try to turn it at this angle right here. Let's see. Stretch it out over this thing. Target, this piece of grain right here, folks. That's my target. And I think my knife might be getting a hair on the dull side from just scraping these things. So I wanna get something like cleated up under here. Weight bench will work. There we go. Can't have it move forward. I gotta put some pressure down on this thing here. It's gonna be like that the whole way probably. Have to do a couple inches at a time there. I've screwed it down into, it has a stand, but it's sliding on the floor because I'm putting body weight on it. It would be okay on grass, but we're in a shop, right? I'm trying to think of ways I can anchor it. It needs to be anchored against something weighted. It's tricky. See you later, man. Take care, Rob. I got the weight bench pushing up against it right now. It's working. It's just very laborious here. Get this last bit off. That worked. It's the way that some people do. They start from the middle like that, and then they go outward from that spot. That angle really helps. Let me zoom in for a second on that so y'all can see. It'll probably drop the viewer count, but it makes more value because I didn't really know how to approach this either. So, whoops. See if I can zoom in with these. You're kind of starting with, this is like the center right here. It's kind of hard for y'all to see, but it's the best I can do for now. Let's see if we can get a little scrape ejection. I started with this streak down the middle, see? And I want to go after it. I'm going to go at this angle. This is what's worked for me. And I had read about this angled approach working. It took me a while to get the muscle memory part down. At least with a draw knife, it seems to be what works best. Periodically I got to sand this beam too because it gets these chips in it and they mess the grain up if I'm doing leather. That could have been what happened to this leather also. Number of things that could happen. All theories for me because I I don't know for sure. What I'm doing now is bulldozing that grain off, sometimes called frizzing. Thanks, Derek. I will keep up the work until I finish this last spot here. I kind of have to. Can't leave some on there. I got to have it all in the same place, kind of development wise. I got it in a way right now where the only thing the beam can do besides wiggle is break. And I've got it. I secured it before the live today because it was giving me problems. Gotta put your body weight against it here. Like I said, there's no smell. This isn't gross. Like, none of this is rotted or anything. This is actually a completely tanned hide, a preserved hide that's having the grain removed from it. So there's no gross out factor here. It shouldn't be. Stubborn spot right here I can feel. Some of it is scar tissue sometimes, especially for the big older ones. This is what I learned with the big hide that I scraped down. The spots where the deer, especially the bucks, where they've interacted with other bucks and you know, sparred and whatnot, they get these spots in their hides, and it's very hard to get the grain out of those. I would say graining is much more laborious than fleshing, right? So getting the flesh off is kind of, I find it a little easier than this. It's probably why making buckskin itself is such a craft, is because of that. Whole books on it. See, I kind of snagged something there, put a hole in it. Not good, but this is towards the belly and one of the hind. Well, this looks like a foreleg here. So those are thin areas. Might rip again. I can't let up on it though. I have to put my weight down on it. It makes you want to stop. You have to go against your will, like your tendency to be shy with it. Like you have to go against that. See, I tore it there. I kind of figured that would happen, so still usable. It's toward the perimeter. That's probably because we're into thin territory here, and that's exactly what I was talking about. I still have to put pressure down on it. If it has to be rounded off, that's okay. The spot's going to be stubborn right here because it's going to want to rip off the hide. Ooh, I'm actually getting hot. Can you believe that? It's like 15 degrees in here. That can go. That'll probably get rounded off. There's a couple little spots here on the hide that I'm noticing I missed, where the grain is still intact somewhat. I'm going to get after those. So with the fluctuating temperature, the legs that I designed for this thing, and the moisture that's going into this beam over and over again, the legs are never, it never stays level. So you need I think PVC is the best, probably the best solution for a flushing beam. If I'm gonna tell you, it's not romantic, but it's it's a good way to make a flushing beam. See, these spots here, real stubborn. Put it up toward the top of the beam would be how I would be advised right here. And then try to put your body weight down on it. A lot of grain on there, man. Even this still has tons of grain still kind of remaining. Looks like maybe in some scarring. But we're gonna go after this one more time. Can't have the grain like on in the middle of the hide on the back. That's gonna cause a problem when I'm trying to soften it. So those, especially those areas, got to be clean. This has already been like brain tan, like it's been put through brain, it's been put through bark. Right now it's the drying and like breaking process, and I'm really considering putting a cable up to do it, but you got a few spots there I see. Put my body weight down. I'm going to tighten it as much as I can here. And the truth is, guys, the finest leather in the world is made like this. That is just how it is. It's not any different. The fakest leather in the world with a name on it is now what, you know, Coach and them are using. It's fake. It's not even leather. I don't even know if Gucci's using. Hopefully Gucci's still using leather. They throw out so many bags, you know. But the finest leather in the world, this is the way it's made. It's not made in a leather factory. And that's just how it is. People can dispute it. They can argue it. They can flaunt around their expensive items, and then their expensive items end up in the trash or Salvation Army, or they get burned up in some, you know, fire. Bark tan leather like this can last at the bottom of the ocean. Am I missing chat? Welcome everybody. I'm glad y'all are hanging out. My name is Calvin. What I'm doing right now is frizzing a buckskin. Right? So this is a deer hide, and it's been tanned almost all the way. What's happening now is the grain, which is the membrane under the hair, is being scraped to make it a softer texture, more pliable texture. And because the grain was damaged it wouldn't have been useful as grain leather. Unfortunately, because the tannins I use, I think, were exquisite. I really thought that the tannin bath that I gave these was exceptional, and I think if a good tanner would have had those tannins, you know, an experienced one, they would have done better than I did. My skill level kind of limited that, I think. But I'm learning. I'm a fast learner, and I would urge everybody out there to, first of all, subscribe to my channel and like this video. Second of all, learn a skill. You know, learn a skill, because these things they may benefit you when you least expect it. These here and trying to make sure I've got as much of this off. You can probably see, hopefully, yeah, like these little spots of dark are grains, and we want to bulldoze that mess off. I'm gonna drop this a bit. This was that spot. You see, I had this hole happen, but it's a kind of a fairly thick area. It just wanted to be stubborn. Some grain here we want to get off. Look at that. Oh, it's my antlers. That's no good. Schmutz. Go. Now we're cooking with grease. What's into that wind blow? Listen to the wind blow. Sorry. Occasionally I will do that. What I'm doing here behind the camera is stropping off the schmutz, because it's kind of getting more sticky. I think it's happened to the temperatures. It's freezing to my blade. Yeah, that was a big grain spot there. I'm thinking all that has to come off until you get that burnt orange color, basically. This is what I'm thinking. Somebody who's a professional at making buckskin or has the craft mastered, which is a serious craft to master. If somebody knows who's in the chat, you know, let me know. Does it need to be that burnt orange color? Because as I'm scraping, I'm getting more grain. like I'm getting more material off. And I'm thinking this probably has to be done to everything. I mean, that has to be, that grain right there, for sure. Yeah, it's getting sticky. Like it's freezing to my draw knife right now. It's crazy. Those wrinkles, it's so cold, it changes the hydrodynamics of everything. Alright, that's going to be where I'm going to stop on this buckskin. I mean, I'm done with this. This is the suede side, by the way, so if you can always go suede side first, right? Oh, I want to thank Dacian for his gift earlier. That was very nice of him. Shout out to everybody who came through. One thing I have to do here, I have to back this camera up here, and I'll pull some stitches. I also want to show y'all this. So here's the basic premise of the hat that I'm going to make. Is this right here, 24 inches, which is approximately the circumference of my head around my ears, and then same thing here for the top of the hat. That's the rough shape of it, you know. Maybe I can make an animation and put it on a real sexy like short video or something. But that's kind of what that's going to be. Oh no, Dacian, you're fine, and appreciate you being here, man. You really stuck through today. It's a long time. So here we have raccoon hides, males. This is a big male here. And what I would have to do is determine where 24 inches is, right? This is how we just get the job done, one step at a time. Oh, this is in centimeters here. Okay, here we go. For those of you that use the metric, I'm sorry on this particular thing. Now, I have the tail here. In my case, I think I'm going to wrap the tail around the hat, and I'm definitely going to line this with like a real comfortable leather. I think I used some alum in here. I definitely brain tan these. They're dried to a crisp, and it's been freezing, so. Hey, Fusion Rocket. Welcome. Is that Nikki new? Just to make sure. So that is not going to be long enough right there. This hide by itself, unless I went like diagonally, and I think that kind of nope, even then, it breaks the rules. So it has to be, Nikki new, welcome. It has to be 24 inches, and that may be my biggest hide. So what has to happen then is I have to take two of these and basically join them. I do think that raccoon is a beautiful animal. I think people are kind of mean to raccoons, actually. Oh no, you got a virus? We're good. It's really cold here today, Nikki. Nikki's ill, so let's all hope and pray for Nikki to get better. Use our collective energy for that. So I would have to have that, and I've got another raccoon over there so I can cover the top part. We went 23 3/4 was what we determined. That's going to be like right here. Let me move this real quick. Yeah, drink lots of fluids and stay warm. I don't know how cold it is over there. It's been ridiculous over here. Stay out of that stuff, and you know. You're out and about. Maybe you picked it up. I know you're out and abouter. You probably picked it up, you know, out there in the world. You're very social, which is a good thing. Good thing. 24 inches is about right here. Can y'all see that? That's how long it has to be. Well, never mind. I got to go to end. I'm thinking too much about catching the flu. Right here. That's just, is this one bigger? Maybe this one's got 24 on it. No? Yes, no? If not, I'm going to have to take 2 raccoons to get around my head and ears. Yeah, it's going to take 2 raccoons. So we're 2 raccoons deep there for just the way around the hat. I like that. This raccoon definitely has the front. What a beautiful animal, man. Spectacular fur. Crazy. I didn't kill these animals, by the way, y'all. They were in North Carolina. The laws that if they're like these in Virginia, you can't pick up fur bearers like this, but in North Carolina you can, and I ain't scared. So I'm gonna always do, you know. Yeah. These are raccoons. This is a male. This was a big muscular male right here. These were both fairly sizable males. This one was really strong. I remember dressing that raccoon. It was really beautiful. I mean, and just a healthy animal. And then this is a female, so you can see the kind of the difference between these. These were all brain tanned. Yeah, so these are two males and a female. All were brain tanned and smoked and scraped, had the mess scraped out of them. So done the traditional way, and with respect for them too. My first raccoon started shedding, so I turned it to leather. But these ones, I love the raccoon, dude. I think I'm, you know, like it's my favorite fur. I have never touched I love to have fox fur. Get an opportunity, but I won't go fox hunting or anything. I don't have any reason to do that. Everything's kind of in front of me. Like I don't have to really. Holy smokes! What's that? What's that sound? Yeah, I'm psyched too. Yeah. So these guys will be I'm gonna make and we just talked about this, Nikki. This is gonna be the hat design. It's gonna be a Cossack style hat. 24 inches, kind of cut in a, you know, somewhat of a, what do you call that, a trapezoidal shape. What is that sound? I'm scared. What's going on back there? Hold up. Hold on one second, y'all. What the heck is going on? That is crazy. It was a mockingbird. I think the mockingbird was scared. It's so freezing cold out there. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, y'all. I had some pounding on the wall. I thought it was Heather trying to tell me something. That's crazy, y'all. So yeah, it was a mockingbird. It broke in through the siding of the building. Was pounding on the plywood. Maybe trying to tell me something, man. I believe in. I'm a little superstitious, but I believe in signs, so. Maybe she was trying to tell me something. I'm a big friend of the mockingbird too. Oh nah, did you all hear that knocking? Dum 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 dum. Right behind me. So I'm like, what the heck is going on out there? I went outside. It was a mockingbird that had busted through the siding and was pounding on the plywood. Y'all, the animals out here, it's freezing cold. They're desperate. I don't blame them either. Oh, if you're still around, Nikki, let me show you one more fur I've got on hand, too, that I'm really proud of. I'm proud of it, but it's laying on the floor. This muskrat right here. I want to do something with this muskrat, so this is a muskrat fur, and I bark tanned it, so it's kind of dark on the back. Real soft. real supple. And even in the freezing temperatures, it's kept its soft and supple texture, even though it was bark tan. So I bark and brain tan that too. I'm real proud of that one too. That's a muskrat. Its hair is like frizzed up. So those I'm all really happy with. Alberto, ha ha ha. Welcome, Alberto Morales. Yeah. Muskrat and 3 raccoons. And I've got, it's just me by myself, and I'm going to turn these raccoons into a warm hat. And right now, in this kind of temperature, it's not hard to think about that. So welcome to everyone here. Behind me is my biggest buckskin too. It's a huge one from a deer that weighed somewhere between 200 and 300 pounds. I was by myself. It was very hard to tan. Very proud of this buckskin. It looks small on camera right now. It's huge. It's like my length of my entire body. I probably should go in. It is really scary cold out here. The wind is blowing my door open. So oh man, it's in the Nikki knew in Celsius. It's way in the negatives because we're actually in the low, like in the single digits Fahrenheit. So let me translate it real quick. It's probably 15 out there. Negative Jesus, so stupid. Negative 9.5 Celsius. Negative 9.5 Celsius, Nikki. That's where we're at. Trying to translate it into. No, we're in the North Carolina, this southern part of the U.S. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. That's about where it's at. And wind chill is I can't, it's just, is it off your scale? It's like off your scale. It's crazy. It's not typical weather for here. But thank y'all. Check out my long form video about my experience making leather. It's a really pretty video. And I say that because I don't mind saying that. I think the video really was put together in a beautiful way. John Specker, the fiddler, did music for me. So it's really yeah, thank you, Nikki. Thanks. I am gonna go get warm. And you take care of yourself too. Drink lots of fluids. Hey, come back to the channel where we're gonna do all kinds of stuff. Oh, I was supposed to pull stitches today too, y'all. Let me show you my apron real quick before I go. I need to pull these stitches right here. This is the front of the apron here. We've been working. It's kind of looks bad, and it's even worse in the cold. But we need to pull these stitches from behind here, and I got to re-stitch this down once it settles, and we can press it out. But the apron's giving me trouble, so I got to pull stitches out somewhere in here, in this area here. These got to come out. So I'll probably spend some time doing that. Got a little busy on the live stream doing other stuff. But appreciate everybody and their likes. And I am going to go get warm and kind of just look out the window and enjoy the weather. Appreciate being here. Thankful for you all. Thanks. It should look really good. Yesterday it looked good. It shrunk up in the middle of the night, and so I got some. I had some problems. Now it's crimping here like a dress. But this piece of leather here is supposed to go across the front. This is grain leather up here. It's really in the cold. It's really struggling. But I need to unstitch some stuff and work some stuff over again. Yeah. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Nikki, for stopping by. Thanks to everybody, Dacian, all the folks that popped through. Mims, I think. Didn't Mims pop through earlier? Somebody did. Mike Osborne, thanks for coming through. Dacian, thanks for the gift. Gagey. Everybody else who popped through today. KIV from South Africa. Thanks for stopping through. Thanks everybody for coming through. Hey, pop through and drop a comment on the video. Share this with a friend. Let somebody know where you were so we can spread the word about the channel. Love y'all. Do the next right thing.